initiative, so...
He told me what he wants to do.
Oh, that bastard.
Yeah, that
Let's just
bastard. Are we
skip him.
live? Here we go. Hello again, everyone. Welcome back to Spelljammer 998, session 26. Last time on Spelljammer, you guys started on the 19th of Ron, finishing up a late night conversation with Sly. You asked him to dig up a little bit of information about the megapeds you guys want to hunt to get some armor for your buggo friend, and for fame and fortune. And he agreed to procure you guys some poison resistance potions to help to this end. And then you guys stayed up that night, went and scouted out an area. You guys had done some research in some past sessions to figure out that there seems to have been this weird blackout zone, and all of the intelligence organizations you guys are networked with couldn't really get a lot of information out of whatever was going on, which was unusual in and of itself. So you guys went down to that location after ciphering its address out of some paperwork you took from Oswald seems to have been more than just Oswald's gang. Before finding, I've been calling it a camp in my mind. I don't think I called it that last week. Of at least one person. You guys saw a fire while you were there. You saw someone moving around in a tent. You saw at least 4 of the big Warforged-like thing, these kind of rusty Warforged. As well as a big old scrap pile. You used some detect magic. You did some sleuthing around. You guys decided to leave the area and go back to Sly the next morning. After getting some late sleep, late rise, you guys went over there and, he came over to you guys and gave you guys your potions of poison resistance. Pretty sure them have been added into the inventory. But regardless, there's one for each of you. You guys were paid a little bit at some point during this session. He gave you guys a little more information about the megapeds, what little he could dig up in the short amount of time he had. You guys went back to purchase some more of those capture orbs. You got a few more of them. 5 of them. Damn. Before making your way back down to the lower slums of Sharn where you'd been before, unfortunately, you had a little bit of difficulty on your way in, which seemed to have alerted the scout that they were using to keep a look on the area, who went and warned the camp, and you guys had just enough time to kind of move forward, take good positions, and prepare yourselves as they were coming to investigate. With that, combat ensued, and all kinds of shit has happened. So we will start with Randy. Make double sure here. So, what Randy gonna do, make sure I do this in the right order. He's gonna use his action and 2 charges on his Amon weapon here to cast Bless. You know, I'm gonna go back and mark this stuff off while you guys are going. So, Drix, Echo, and Zephyr, you are all now blessed. Sorry, Demos, he can't reach you.
No worries.
So I can post blessed in the chat here in just a second. And then he will use his bonus action to disengage, and he wants to get way back here. Thanks to disengage, he doesn't pop opportunity on any of those guys, which is pretty cool in my opinion. Once he gets back there, last thing. Yeah, he's going to use his action surge when he gets back there, and he's going to shoot his revolver at the big Hulk here. And then that will be his turn. Did that roll?
11.
Randy, they kind of bounces off of the big Hulk's armor, and that is Randy's turn. Echo, it's your turn. While I mark his sheet.
Probably the same thing. Who am I hitting?
Who are you hitting?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, can we have like a visual? Like, do any of them look bloodied?
Thought the one by Zephyr, maybe?
Both of the ones in front of you don't look great. I think they are both bloodied. Looks like the one Drix is fighting is bloodied. Maybe they're right at bloodied. Somewhere in there.
I will bonus action summon my Echo between the two.
Okay.
What are these? I don't know. That's probably within 5 feet of each, yeah?
Yeah, in between them, probably. It looks like
Yeah.
it, for sure. Do.
And I am 10 feet away?
It looks like you're about 5 feet from both of them. Both of them.
Yeah. That's disadvantage on an arrow, huh?
Actually, you're on the other side of 5 feet, for the most part. Yeah.
Wait, sharpshooter. Oh, wait, that's long distance, not short.
But yeah, it would be disadvantage for the range attack.
And I would invoke opportunity attacks if I step away, right?
Unless you use your action to disengage.
That's stupid. Alright, let's see. Alright, I'm going to melee the one in front of Zephyr. With my scimitar. Oh, damn it. That misses. And I will strike again. I'm pretty sure that hits.
Let me get this where I can
For 9 damage. It was a 25 to
yes,
hit.
sir, yes, sir. Sorry, I got where I can see it now. So one in front of Zephyr. All right.
Yeah, for 9 damage. And what is this? I'm gonna do a melee from my Echo's position, same enemy. Come on. Does a 15 hit?
I'm afraid not.
Alrighty then. That is the end of my turn.
All right, pop up. You got a little bit of damage off on him. As Randy retreats, Echo turns and gets a solid hit on the one right in front of Zephyr. It does not look great. It's not its turn, but this one, it is its turn. It will move its remaining feet to get up next to Echo. Oh, where'd he go? Perfect. It is going to take both of its attacks. Oh, did those fail twice? That's dumb. The 22 probably hits Echo.
Yeah, a-hole.
And a 17? I am being genuine.
17 meets.
Okay. So you take 9 from the first one and 6 from the second one. But that does take both of his actions. It doesn't have any bonus actions or anything like that. And then it will be this guy's. Oh, this guy's. I think he can finally... This guy. Alright, Demos, same thing.
Bring it.
This one is going to use its reaction to trip you, to try to trip you.
Don't do it.
Ooh.
What's save? Is that a saving throw for me, or is that
to hit?
Okay. What's he?
He rolled a 20. I don't know why it has damage associated with it, because it doesn't. But he
You rolled a nat 20?
No.
Okay. Oh, but if I shield, meat still hits. Oh, I'll use a luck point. I'll make him re-roll his attack.
Okay. I need to turn
Rolls a
this
nat
thing
20.
off. He did roll a nat 20, actually. It's funny you say
No.
that.
Can I use my other one?
Damn.
Can I use the second luck point or no?
I'm not familiar with the way the rule is written.
They don't use reactions. I think it's just your personal call.
It doesn't say once per turn, does it?
Whenever you make an attack or an ability check or a saving throw, or have an attack roll made against you, you can spend one to roll an additional d20 and choose which die to use. Oh, I choose which die to use. So I can choose the other one even though it rolled the nat 20 on the second.
Okay, now I know that in Baldur's Gate you can just keep rolling as many luck points as you have for what that's worth.
If it says whenever, that's interesting. Because, like, if
Yeah.
you make it roll again, does that not trigger another attack roll? Like, can you just burn a luck point, a luck point, a luck point? I guess you can. It does the same thing every time you do
You
it.
get 3 a long rest, yeah.
Yeah, I would allow it. I don't.
Oh, wait. You can choose to spend luck points after you roll the die, but before the final outcome is determined.
That's weird.
Doesn't necessarily apply. I'll take the flat 20.
Okay.
Not the net
So
20.
it does just knock you over, but it sweeps your feet like, boom, and then of course it's immediately bringing the hammer back up to use its other 2 attacks. It gets them at advantage. I really need to turn this stupid dice rolling bull crap off. An 18 for 13 bludgeoning damage.
An 18 total.
Yes, sir.
I will pop a shield for that one.
Okay, because here's the second attack. I'm rolling these at advantage since you're on the ground. Neither one of those hit.
Okay, I was about to say I'm at a 20 right now.
It did not roll great. That is its turn. An attempt to do that. Now it's the big guy's turn. He's gonna do what he do, which is shoot a javelin and try to hammer hand somebody. Okay, it's gonna shoot the javelin at Drix. I think it's what it's been. It's a 22 Drix for 15 piercing damage. Wow. It rolled a 5 and a 6 out of 6. Oof. Ooh, solid use of that. 10
Damn.
out of
Negative
10.
flip.
So you guys watch as this thing, the creaking sound intensifies. This thing clanks and sounds awful to listen to. Raises its arm, and you guys hear the rotation and the javelin poof out of its arm. And Drix, you throw up a kind of psionic barrier that blunts it like passes through your barrier and still sticks into your leg a little bit, but you brunt them.
I like to imagine it like stops the momentum of it, so it doesn't keep going in,
And Drix does a pretty solid deflection there, and then it will move to here, and it is pretty dumb, so it is going to attack the Echo because it just doesn't know better.
Good boy.
It thinks it's a thing. So here is the roll for the Echo. It takes its big, it doesn't have a fist, it has a whole ass like sledgehammer as a hand. Whole ass. That's a 24 to hit the Echo.
Oh boy, you know he did.
Yeah, that Echo go. The Echo doing it is serving its purpose. Demos, you're up. Who's on deck? Drix, you're on deck. Zephyr, you're after that.
This guy on my ass.
You have to get up too.
So I see that it's kind of like, looks like there's a low area between these 2 high areas. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Demos is gonna Misty Step over to here, and then he's gonna use his Repulsion Breath.
Are you trying to go down, or are you staying on the same level?
On the same level, just trying to re-angle myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a Repulsion Breath, try to knock him. He needs to make a Strength saving throw.
Strength, not athletics.
Like I had something to give him disadvantage to,
4.
but I think it wasn't. 4, perfect. All right, he has knocked. I think it's 10 feet back. Check. Knocked 20 feet away and knocked prone.
Oh man, so wow. All right. Demos gets knocked on his ass, gets like cracked in the ribs with a hammer, and then immediately, or you didn't even have to get up, I guess. Like Misty steps from the ground. Misty steps behind him, and then like almost Jedi style, force blast it off the top of this rooftop and down into this area below where they are fighting. I'm gonna call that at least.
I think it was 20 feet.
That's what I was about to say.
Right.
2d6. It is d6, d8.
I think it is D6. Yeah.
2d6. All this shit my way. Alright, it takes an amount of fall damage. It does make quite an impact. Demos, you hear, and the rest of you see the crashing, almost meteorite-like landing of this big thing. Flop down next to you guys, so y'all enjoy that. Demos, can you do anything else?
No, I did get up and move, but other than that, no.
Drix, you're up.
Drix.
Zephyr, you're on deck.
More swinging.
Swangin'.
Dang. 9 also missed.
You and this Warforged are
Yeah.
like having it out, dude.
Really,
Y'all are going hard.
we're just throwing blows back and forth.
It's true. Yeah, do the life of the melee sometimes. Zephyr,
Too
what
loud.
do you got? You're on mute, Zephyr.
God intended.
Reminiscent of the time.
Sorry, my face was full of taco.
Oh, hey, I'm sorry, I forgot. Don't forget you guys are blessed, so you'll get to add a D4 to attacks and saving throw.
That's true.
Okay. Which is pretty sweet.
I don't know if that'll make a difference for the pole armor or the Githka strike, but
Probably not.
just two.
That's like a max 13.
Yeah. No.
Okay, so normally I come out starting blasting, but I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. So I'm looking, hold on. So this guy that's right beside me, and this guy right here, I'm going to cast Command at 2nd level, so I can target both of them. Because at higher levels, it's when you cast it, at a 2nd level or higher, you can affect 1 additional creature for each slot above the first, so that's 2 for me. They are, hold on, I want to make sure. Yeah, they are within 30 feet of each other. And I'm going to tell them to halt. Which here it says the target doesn't move and takes no actions. So I assume that's just for 1 turn. They have to make a DC 15 wisdom save. And I'm hoping that they're not wise at all.
That was pretty solid play, Zephyr. I'm not gonna lie to you. At least I think it is. I don't know their wisdom save yet.
Hopefully it's not 15.
Let's find out. First one rolled a 5, which is this one. Rolled a 5.
Okay.
The big guy here is not as wise. Rolled a 9. All right.
Yeah, so
Pretty solid.
it doesn't specify how many turns, but I assume all of
Yeah.
these are just 1 turn kind of deal.
Yeah, when their turns come up, they will halt. And
And take no actions.
Yeah, not do anything. So that was pretty solid. I liked that play.
Would it not
That
be
said,
a,
I can't
a
cast
re-roll for a
anything
save?
else.
No, it's not a reroll because command is like a. They failed this save, so now they are compelled to do what they have been told to do. And I think they have to wait till their turn to do that, but
For command, it uses your whole turn to do the action.
Yeah.
that you're told to do. So thankfully,
And
it's
then
But
not,
only
after
for
that-
1 turn.
yeah.
And
So,
after that, I'm going to... Oh, I was just going to Starlight Step
okay,
back
solid.
here.
I'm glad you Starlight Step because I think he still could have smacked you. It is his turn, the guy that you just Starlight Stepped away from, the Forged. It will stand there like an idiot. And then,
What?
where's this guy? Is this the guy fighting Drix? Alright, Drix, here we go.
Yeah.
It is going to try to trip you, which I don't think it has successfully tripped you yet. 19?
Oh yeah, 19. Yeah, that gets.
Alright. So no damage or anything, but it does finally, after back and forth, you guys have you've lost ground and then taken ground, and he finally gets your ankle with gets one of your ankles with the back of his thing. He'll use his first Astro Hammer attack to try to smack you. That's a 7, so the first one misses.
Uh-huh.
The second one is a dirty 20 for 6 bludgeoning damage. As it does finally trip you and you dodge a massive swing before it kind of clips you in the elbow with a second strike. That is all it can do. It is Randy's turn. Randy's going to stay back here. Randy's going to keep shooting with his revolver. Because it's ranged. And he's blessed. Okay.
Plus a D4.
Well, I think that's going to meet anyway. because he's shooting at this guy who looks really rough. I like to think it stops, it does its halt, and then Echo and Drix and the Forge have their exchange, and then Randy's like, "Fuck this!" Draws again on the revolver and pops this one for 8 damage. I guess he doesn't get sneak attack, but he does still manage to wipe out this one here. My brain broke on me. I'm gonna put a thing on him here in a second. Okay. His second round, he wanted to. He's gonna use his second. He's gonna use his second wind. I'm gonna have him roll that when he gets here because I know that I can. Echo, you're up. This guy's dead.
A little bit of shameless plugging. You're now listening to the debut of the newest track that has been made.
Nice, dude.
It's pretty solid.
I will.
I'll leave this here instead.
Is the one between Deimos and Zephyr damaged at all?
A little bit, but I think I hit him with a couple meteors and then threw him off the building.
It's not looking good either. Most of them are
Hey.
not looking good, maybe with the exception of the Hulk. What's up, Randy?
Randy! Yeah.
All right. I think I'm going to risk it. All right, I'm going to
Risk it
bonus
for the
action
wins.
summon my Echo right next to me, basically where he was before.
Okay.
And then I'm going to move 10 feet away towards Randy. I know that's opportunity attack.
Well, what was the command again?
Hulk.
Oh, wait, he's halted, huh?
No.
Hulk.
This one was the one that was Hulk.
Yeah, he can take no actions. The Hulk, but that's it.
Yeah, the
Just the
Hulk
Hulk.
and this one.
The other one
Oh,
dies.
This one's
okay.
already
I thought it
dead.
was
This
the two
one-
little ones.
This one
Okay.
will get its reaction.
Great call.
Yeah, that's fine. Let him swing.
All right. Sorry. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I don't have enough screens, which I thought I would never say. Let's see here, Echo. As you move away, a 22. You take 5
All right.
bludgeoning damage as it kind of catches you in the calf on your way back.
All right. I'm good with that. Okay. I will shoot at the guy that just swung at me. I get a +4 to my hit, right?
Yeah, D4. Yes, sir.
I will definitely be doing the sharpshooter, which is a -5 to hit with +10 damage. So here we go. That was literally the worst I could have done.
Show it to me. I see.
I will try again. Maybe he knocked me off balance with that last hit. Oh, okay. That's slightly better. Mother. Dude.
Yeah.
All right. Screw it. Action surge. I'm going to take an additional action, which means 2 more hits.
Did
Or-
you roll the d4 on that bless? That 12 could still hit.
But it's -5.
Oh, it's the sharpshooter. I see.
Right. So this one should hit
Yeah.
for this amount of damage plus 10, 18 damage. Is
On
he dead yet?
Was that the one in front of you, the one that hit you?
Yes.
All right, hold on. Give me his thing back. Ooh, not quite. He's looking close. Oh, 18. Hold on. It seems to be hanging on by a thread.
All right. I will go for the one.
So you backed up and got away. Your echo's here.
Yeah, kind of by Randy. I'm going to go for the one between Zephyr and Deimos. Same thing. -5 to hit, plus 10 damage.
Put you over.
Hells yeah.
Hook 'em up.
For 21 damage.
Yeah, that's it. Echo, you do what is essentially the not quite a switcheroo, but you take the hit and kind of finish sprinting your backpedaling out of the way. You make your Echo right in front of him to distract him, and then you just boom, unload. I think it was 4 arrow shots, and it drops to the ground. Solid.
And you said that one was still hanging on? Or no, I got him too.
This one,
Wait,
you got this one. That's the one you're shooting
Oh,
at, right?
the second shot was supposed to go to the one between Deimos and Zephyr,
I'm sorry. Hold on a second.
and that was 21 damage.
Oh, you. All of the above applies. You get that one. Before it
All
even
right,
before it even gets a chance to get off the ground, Echo's just he fires a big shot at that one, sees it land, turns and just hits it, like reflex. Oh shit! Oh shit!
and since I have one left, I'm gonna swing with my Echo at the guy barely hanging on with a threat.
Yeah, let's see it. Supernova Echo, not saving anything for the
Hit.
Hulk.
26 to hit,
Do with the Hulk when we
4
outnumber it 5-1.
max damage, 10.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is 100% doable.
Technically a 30 to hit.
10 is the exact number you needed. Congratulations.
Yes.
He
Just get a double kill.
did.
Double kill.
I softened that one up for you. You're welcome.
I just kind of like finger salute quietly
All right.
Disappear into
with
the
2
bazaar.
fingers, not flip them off. Sorry, that sounded like a flip them off. I mean, like, like actual salute.
If it was the shocker, if it was Davos, I would have believed it. But
Right.
All right. I'm assuming that's
And
all
that'll
you
be
can.
it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm assuming that's all you can do. I think B is dead. Is D dead? D is dead. Okay, man. Oh man. I can't believe you've done this. So it is going to shoot. Seeing that Drix is on the ground, I think with him being already entangled and on the ground, it's not going to shoot at Drix, so it will probably shoot at. Oh man, it could be any of you three.
is this the Hulk? Is he halted, or have we already passed that?
He
Hulk
is halted. Bless you.
Yeah.
The Hulk stands there like
No, they're
an
blessed.
idiot. Stands there. The Hulk does not do anything. Wow, perfect. It is halted. Demos, you're up. Drix, you're on deck.
Demos is going to start off his bonus action by hurling 2 of these meteor boys at that big old hulky boy. Or should we? How's the one by Drix look?
I think it's bloody. It is, I think, not like on top of Drix, but it has knocked him over. It's trying to press its advantage.
I'll send one at each. This is to the one by Drix, and this is to the other one. Actually, do I have to send them off in twos? Look at that. Oh, it's detonation, but that's.
The one by Drix failed.
No, I can set them separate. Okay. All right. So, one over by him takes 5, and the other one will take 3 if it passes.
It did pass.
Big boy.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to use my action. Distance is proving a little less advantageous than I thought. Is anybody like really fucked up? Like under? Is anybody under half? Let's start there. No.
Nope.
Yeah. Let's go with a. I'll go with an ice snipe. Let's do a 3rd level. I've only got one more 3rd level
He's
slot.
firing ice over here.
Let's do a 2nd level. At also at the one over. Or actually, no, this one explodes, so I better do it on the Hulk so it doesn't splash on it.
Is that another deck save?
Oh, that was a nat 20 for the hit,
Oh,
which is
there
great.
it is. I see.
It is a DC 14 deck save.
Let's see. Roll a 14.
14 meets. I can't use a lucky point to make him reroll. I don't have any fortunes left. Oh, I hate it when I can't change your rolls. That makes it sad. So altogether, that's half of 19. Oh, but plus the critical damage. Excuse me.
That 19.
So
Well, I was
that's-
just looking at that. That 19. It's funny how it
That's
displays that.
35 halved because he passed. Oh wait, actually no, he takes
So,
some damage baseline.
The piercing damage is full. It's the first roll, the first half of the roll. He should take full damage for that. It's the explosion that he makes the deck save for that
Yeah.
cold afterwards that
I
you would
gotcha.
have,
So
I
he-
guess.
He takes 12 piercing regardless.
Uh-huh.
Or well, no, because that gets doubled. Or is it already?
It's already doubled. It's 8 plus 4.
Oh, I rolled 2. I gotcha. Okay, so 12 damage full, and then the 33 gets halved to 16, 17.
Well, technically, there's only 23 cold damage there to be halved. Oh, but that gets doubled.
No, the 23 is double. I'm sorry, did I fuck up my math? I think I was adding in the 16 with the. Yeah, so 23.
But that would be. Oh, because, yeah, so 23 halved, which would be 12 ish.
Yes, sir.
Okay, no, it's not looking. Demos fucking. Following out, yeah. Demos slings a small meteor at the one assaulting Drix and manages to kind of pop it in the chest, and you guys can see part of its armor heating up, or, glowing red, and then slings a massive, I like to think this is a spear. Whole ass, knife, ice spear comes, lancing out off of Demos' hand and gets a pretty solid shot on that thing. Drix, it is your turn.
Does the rapid temperature change cause a fracture in its armor, lowering its AC by 2?
Getting a little bit of it.
I'm mostly fucking.
I was about to say it might if y'all really needed the help. Which I don't think you do.
16 hit?
16 meets.
16 meat?
Get it. Ha!
Look it up.
Ain't nothing but a...
13
bludgeoning damage.
13.
Here's the part where I remind you that you can roll your bonus action attack twice with your Mithril Githka. Once per turn.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, let's see that second attack.
Does he get 2 strikes, or is it just 1? Is it advantage, or is it 2 strikes?
It's 2 strikes.
Aren't you blessed? Aren't they blessed?
They are blessed.
Oh, yeah.
Are ye not
15,
blessed?
That 15 hits. Because no matter what he gets to add to it, it's
you're
going to
right.
be 16.
Okay, so all 7.
Yeah.
And 7 is the exact amount you needed. Drix,
Yeah.
so I forgot that you have to stand up for these not to have disadvantage. So I like to think that the meteor hits it and it staggers a little bit, and Drix, you reach up, grab it, and do almost like a judo flip, like your knees and your arms come up into its stomach, and you flip it back over your head, roll over top of it, pick up your Githka, and just beat it to death.
Give him the chair! Give him the chair!
Set that motherfucker in a puree.
Alright.
Of that Githka around. I love that. That's sick.
Alright. Zephyr, you're up. What's left? Is the Hulk the only thing left?
Alright. Yeah, I think the Hulk's all that's left, so we gonna blast. As we do. And I get to... Well, no, even if I roll a +4, those are both shitty rolls. Well.
Sorry for him.
You know what? I'm gonna bonus action like and subscribe. So, there we go.
Barb gets the green highlight this week.
Hey!
Solid job.
Damn it!
Unless you took it from Brandon. That'd have been hard
So
enough
funny.
to do at work. Just sneak one in like that. Randy, you're up. Echo, you're up.
Shoot, I'm up. Okay.
You did shoot your revolver and use your bonus at your second wind. So you've shot it twice. The one you told me about, and then you shot it again on the second round. You killed one of them doing so. You have.
Oh, I was gonna ask if I hit anything.
You have 3 bullets left by my counting. In your chamber, in your revolver.
You're not in the chamber, Devin. They're in the revolver part.
I have enough movement where. Let's see. I'm gonna mark up my action surge. I have enough movement where I can get back up on him now that it's just him, and I see people sort of pounding him left and right with all kinds of stuff, and I got some fresh HP back, so I'm just gonna run my Randy butt right back up beside him.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna bonus action and use my fighting spirit to give myself advantage on my attacks. And then I'm gonna booming blade, hopefully. Oh, I don't think I needed the advantage. Maybe I'll roll a crit. And I didn't. That's okay.
Hurt.
Hit him with that.
Oh,
Hit
you
him
get that 16
with...
damage too, don't you?
Yep, and then I get to also roll this guy. And
Or
you can add an additional 8 to that.
Sick.
For the thunder damage.
Yeah.
That's only if he moves, though, right?
So
Second part
since I'm
is-
The 15 is if he moves.
yeah.
I think he's
Because,
saying add 8 because that's what the first.
Yeah, so the way that the spell works is once you reach a certain level, you get 2 rolls. The first half of it's like immediate damage, it's a 1d8, so I roll max on that. And the second one's if they move, it's an additional 2d8 damage.
Does it technically add a die to your like attack? Like your does it make your weapon do thunder damage? At least that's how I envision it.
I think that's how I'm kind of looking at it too. Is at that point, like I imagine it kind of does thunder damage, but yeah. Especially when you get to add it on the hit, I'm just gonna say from now on it is flavored as thunder damage, like a crack.
I was about to say, well, Randy, fortune favors the bold, and you do run forward and almost like Samurai Space Thor. I don't even know, like you whip
Samurai Jack.
you whip the Amon out and bring it down in a big crossing strike. You guys hear the sound of thunder roll. You guys watch some pieces of this thing like fly off of it from the thunder damage as it splits. Not splits, but is rended through the middle and collapses. Oh boy, y'all, you did it.
Let's stand over him for a second. I put my foot on the scrap pile and I'm like, ain't no Hulk big enough for Macho Bug Randy Chattering.
I softened him up for you. I stand by that.
Randy looking right at the fourth wall.
Yeah, you're actually no Deimos' attack's the reason that I went for it. I was like, you hit him with a fire in the eyes, and I was hoping that you would
And
say
the
there was like a
thunder.
chink in the armor or something. I was gonna go smack the crap out of him and just hope it was enough.
Ooh, I even like now better the idea of like there being a crack and Randy sticks the katana through it, like stabs him, and then the thunder damage is like poof.
I love that.
All of the good
10-10.
stuff. Okay.
Deimos awkwardly climbs down from the roof and says, "We should probably investigate before anybody comes to check this out."
Yeah.
I'll do one of those hammers, or 4 of them, preferably.
Okay. You guys are.
Regretted not grabbing them last time.
They're pretty cool.
What weapon did the big boy have? Or did he have
They were built
he
into
was a
his-
weapon.
Yeah, they were built into his one hand was a hammer and the other hand was the javelin cannon. I gotta find something real fast. Okay.
Bet if I just like shocking grass the cannon, I could get it to fire. I'll take it.
I'm gonna try to chop its arm off. Maybe I can do
Right,
take an attempt
okay.
at something like that here in a second. Well, I'm guessing you guys go look around the camp, so it is extremely sparse. There is only one of the tents that actually seems to have been habitated, lived in. You don't see any basic food, water, or anything like that you would expect in a human camp. The only tent that has anything in it has a cot and a very large desk, littered with papers, shell casings, and just a general mess in this tent. You guys can see the remains of the fire you saw last night, maybe not smoldering anymore, but sitting in the corner of the tent. So you gather what best you can find. I don't need a perception check for y'all to realize this seems to be the only tent with anything actually in it, anything organized in it.
Can I do Can I just take like a general glance and see if there's anything that might be stashed around, like poke through some of the things that are here? I don't know if you want to do investigation or perception or
Go ahead and make a perception. Let me look at your passive real quick. Oh,
passive as shit. I have a -1 to perception.
Echoes
That's
is
plus
good.
3 to investigation.
Drix is very good.
Yeah, maybe a charm or an item from one of the fallen spies in the past. Like a pile of just bones.
Dead corpses.
Maybe this isn't where they end up. Maybe I will find out. But Drix, at least, passive perception is high enough. Where was your roll? See if you can get anything.
13.
You know, if you guys take a peek in there, one of you will figure out. Even with a 13, I think Demos, you might realize when you go to approach the desk is scattered with what seems to be. You helped look at it, so it's in the same cipher that you've already recovered from Oswald's place. It doesn't seem to be the same kind of notes. They seem more extensive. There's some that look they don't look like other parts of the cipher. You're having trouble figuring out at a glance what exactly those are. There's also a lock box or a strong box underneath the table that I guess you would know what's in it. But
I'll put the lockbox on top of the table and start gathering the papers and stuffing them in my satchel for investigative reading. Unless is there any important looking document on the top, perhaps? Or was the cipher translator? Maybe I can glean a little bit from it.
I think. Odd or even.
I don't like that. Odd. I say with disdain.
Where'd it go?
It's a 9. 1 plus 8 equals 9. It's not. Well,
It's difficult to tell. So I will say that there is like a collection of papers you don't really recognize, and there's a collection of papers that's written in the cipher that is all written information.
okay. I will nonetheless gather them up and stuff them in my bag.
Okay, sounds like you're trying to work quickly to do this. When you pick up the lockbox, you'll note that it doesn't feel very heavy. Even Demos is surprised at how it. I guess. I don't know. I don't know if you put that together or not. It's exceptionally light for something
Is it
you
locked?
would expect money to be in.
Oh, this one's gonna be loaded.
I was about to say, exceptionally light for something you would expect money to be in. You don't hear any jingling.
Who's got the best hands?
I was gonna say, if you want to try to open it, I got some thieves' tools.
Oh
Some
yeah,
sleight of
we're
hand,
definitely open it.
I
Yeah,
didn't know
sleight
if
of
you wanted to do it here or not.
+4.
This feels.
got it. Got a +6.
Yeah, pop it open. It doesn't seem like there's too much in it that we'll have to spend a lot of time going through, but
I'll certainly try. It's a 25.
25. Randy, it doesn't take you long. You step up and get into it. It has been down here in the lower depths, not very well taken care of or oiled or anything you might do to those to keep them well. And you get it pops open and you open the lid up, take a look. You guys can see it does seem to be mostly documents. This thing is slap full of papers like it's sitting on the desk. You do also find you've got two speed loaders of bullets for a revolver, and probably a bottle of booze.
yeah.
Maybe I imagine there would be a little coin in there, something of the amount of like 50 or 60 gold, for
I don't like that the shooter guy's not here.
Boom boom. I feel like there's. Do we get the sense that people were here recently, and I don't think the robots started a fire?
You knew a person was here. Yes, you saw at least one person moving around in this tent.
Does there seem to be any passageways, trapdoors? Gotta take a closer squint.
You could take an investigation check if you wanted to.
Any inkling of which direction this person might have gone? Another 13.
You don't find anything hidden in the tent itself. I would say that you can gather from looking around you that it doesn't necessarily look like there was a hasty retreat, as so much as that he just may not have spent a lot of time here. You gather this was more a camp or a stopping point or a place to sleep in between other places.
What do you boys make of this?
A camp.
I mean, we know he was here, yesterday? Last night.
And now you're back in the day.
Yeah. So, I mean, he would have had time to go, but if the machines were still here, we wouldn't be able to glean now that they're dead, whether or not they would have had sentience. I don't know, like looking for anything that might have, like, let them be controlled versus not. I'm just wondering, like, if they stayed here, like, would he still have to be close to control them potentially, or would he be able to give orders and then just wait till he comes back? I don't know. What do you want me to roll?
I was about to say, nothing Slot told you guys any idea of how the distance would work.
They didn't seem to be Warforged, though. They didn't seem to be intelligent. They,
Right, but anything that was kind of like Warforged would have been high dollar for Sly, right?
he wants us to bring one back. We'll have to figure that out in a minute. But
Yeah, you're gonna figure how you're gonna move one around. Randy, I feel like this would be like insight because you're asking some interesting questions. I want to try to figure out how to explain things from Randy's point of view. All right, that wasn't bad. 16, okay. Randy, you go poking around a little bit on some of the corpses. I guess they're not actual corpses. Scrap piles now. As these questions are rolling themselves around in your mind, you're wondering, does he have to be close by? Does he control them, or are they controlled through some other means? And I like to think that you would find, if you actually thought you took out your katana and started hacking off kind of the back neck area of these things, that you don't find a chip, but you feel it looks eerily familiar, eerily similar. The metals that make up their neck seem to be very similar. What's the big and I would say with that roll, you glean that if he were controlling these things, he would not have to have a camp to keep up with them. Like his presence here wouldn't be as needed because of his mental link with them.
okay. I think that helps. It doesn't really tell us whether or not he's still close. I can't imagine he would have gotten far. I guess the question is, do we feel like we have enough to try and, I don't know, press the direction opposite that we came in and see if we can find any traces? Or
I'm wondering if he won't be back tonight. If we can move all this into the tent and stash it, will he come back here this evening expecting to see them, and us jump him then? If he doesn't have remote neural access, he might not know that there's even been anything gone wrong. But we got to move.
Does, because it sounds like, based on what I gleaned, that it's possible he has a link with them. It's just that he would not necessarily have to be in, like, here to keep an eye on them, but it would be sort of similar to the chip, just not identical. Is what it sounds like I gleaned from that. So I wonder if he already knows they're offline.
Yeah. Oh, and the chip was in a changeling. It wasn't in a construct. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know if those are necessarily the same from that perspective either. I say either way, we need to get them and try to stash them back inside the tent and get them out of the street.
Yeah.
That's
true. We should pile them up somewhere. I think that this area is largely abandoned or unused, but we need to try and take one back with us. I don't know how I want to handle that, but we could definitely pile the rest of them up somewhere, like behind something, to sort of clean up.
No, my theory is move all these into the tent, stake out till tonight, see if he comes back. If he doesn't, we take some of these up to Sly.
Okay.
And if he does, we jump him and then see what we learn.
I don't hate that.
Echo, Drix,
Any opposed?
Zephyr.
I like that.
That's 3.
A second.
I will.
You will?
I will take those speed reloaders for the revolver, if you don't mind.
A couple extra bullets for you.
I'll reload that guy while we're down.
Yeah, if I say Randy while y'all are talking. Okay. You guys, takes you a little bit of time. These things are big and heavy. The big one especially. The Hulk especially, big and heavy. Takes you guys some time to drag them underneath some of these tents, cut some holes in some tent walls to get them in there, etc., etc. And I would gather by this time it is probably getting close to dark. Go ahead.
I'll try to do like prestidigitate if there's oil or anything like blood. Try to clean up to make it look like it was when we got there.
These guys were all
They-
walking around standing sentry when y'all got there. But
Oh,
You want to try to pop them up like Weekend at Bernie's? Like, put
maybe
some,
if we
like,
each
sticks
wear
underneath them and
one,
stuff.
if we all get in one, we can just like stand around in them, Scooby-Doo style,
God.
and just wait.
note to the Rusty Warforged armor set.
And this is turning into a
love
mech
it.
campaign real quick.
Oh boy. Okay.
Who gets the big boy? He's got the most leg room.
Oof. Takes 2 of you. You have to use Chief Ringo to like be the bottom legs of him.
Oh, I love it. Like Kung Fu, not Kung Fu Panda, excuse me. Like Mulan, where Mushu gets like the dude positioned up on the panda, what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The general, like essentially just do that with, basically take the top part of the armor, just stick it on the beetle, and just like have the legs like hanging there.
Okay.
It'll be fine.
Anyway, you guys managed to get all this moved out of the way. How far away would you like to stake out from? Are you gonna stake out down there next to the bodies? Would you like to be X amount of feet away? You want to be across from it laterally?
I'm thinking we move them just out of sight in the facility they were
I was
seen to be guarding.
I was gonna ask how hard it would be to get up on this roof behind the tent.
Up here?
Would be good to get some different vantage points. That looks pretty
Yeah,
high.
Right
You would
there.
have to do
I
some
want to be at
climbing,
least
but
120 feet.
120 feet.
Based
At
on my
least that.
calculations, just
Take this
second
Metafall talisman just in case.
How far away from this campsite here? This could be higher up. Okay.
I mean, I'll
120
make the
Building's
argument that like
approximately 20 feet away.
Well, that's what I was about to say. As I was measuring like flight distance, I would say that this is probably 30 or 40 feet up in the air. This is probably 30 or 40 feet up in the air. This might be higher, since this is Sharn and towers go forever.
Okay.
You have to do a little bit of climbing, but you could get up there if you wanted to.
Sure, why not? I'm up here now.
So,
Well,
it sounds like 120 feet will be the maximum distance. Some of you, perhaps while y'all are staking out the night, move closer in and out throughout the night. But you get ready. You hide the bodies. You wait. One of you at all times watches the camp. Waits to see if the fire lights. Some of you that can see in the dark scour the shadows of the shanty town. You wait. You watch. You sit. Another watch passes. You watch. And if you guys go through the night, which you can without taking any exhaustion, it's a short rest. No one ever seems to show.
Bummer.
guess we're hauling these back up to the upper levels. You know, I've never been more glad that we bought Chief Ringo. I just gotta say that. Like, I was trying to think how we gonna move that big boy, but Big Beetly boy helping.
See. So even if y'all have
That's
to
smart.
go, even if y'all have to go get him, regardless, we'll fast forward to him being there, and y'all are just gonna use him to you're gonna pile the big thing over him and.
Yeah, tie a tarp down. Why just throw it over?
Sounds like you're taking the big thing. Would you like to take?
We gotta
something
get bumper stickers for Chief Ringo and just put them on the back of a shelf.
else? Oh boy.
Ass, grass, or ass. No one rides for free.
Alright, well. Would you like to take
So-
one of the other ones or just the big one?
I want to take one of the small ones too. One of the regular guys with had the hammers.
Yeah, definitely want to get all the hammers.
Hmm.
Like, want to throw those in the bag. We don't have a bag, do we?
I mean, you can grab them. Put them in your. Y'all grab them.
Everybody but me take a hammer.
It's like twice
Make
as big as I am.
You got 4 arms though. It balances out.
You guys, are you gonna take them straight? Are you gonna take them actually? You're
I
gonna
think
walk
we were
these
saying
things
fly
up.
for some cash.
So you guys are gonna walk these things up to the front of the Diamond Theater.
Can we take them?
Actually, I love
That's
the
our-
idea of doing that.
That's our
Just dump 'em
established
off.
business plan, Sly. If you wanted a drop spot, you should have said something. Let's say if so, we're on the lower levels. Is there any hope of navigating our ship down here? Just pop down, load them up, stuff it in the back like a Toyota Prius, and just drive up as far up as we can go.
As low down as I was saying, other parts of the city you could do that. You have to make some checks to fly between the towers. But as far down in the city y'all are, I don't know that it could reach.
Do we have any other? I could try to use one of these capture balls, but to be honest, I was really hoping to save it for a Charmander or a Bulbasaur, maybe a Squirtle.
I mean, could we just lug them to the nearest local docking station of sorts? just like get the ship there and load everybody up. I assume there has to be one not too far away once you get outside of this lower abandoned district.
I'm not up to much
That's-
with the LGBTQ community, but if there's a docking station nearby that you want to visit, I support that. But I feel like this is our priority for the moment.
And we're editing that out. All right, everybody, get the episode.
Snip. Okay, so
See, the thing about the Thri-Kreen reproductive cycle is
the answer to your question, Randy, is yes. Since you are on a little lower than the ground level, you could haul them up as far as you needed to get to one of the dock wards, and the ship could reach the dock ward. You could also just take them back home if you wanted to, but I understand that y'all might be trying to get out of just hauling this thing back to the house.
Yeah, I'm down to take the ship. I think it makes it easier. Makes it easy on Chief Ringo anyway.
He's working hard, ain't you, boy? I need to get.
Gotta be kind to Chief Ringo.
What
And like
do beetles eat?
gotta be good
like
to him.
a twisted part of me deep down inside wants like A1 to take a look at him. Be like, what do you make of this, boy?
I mean, he might be able to tell us something. Might also traumatize the little gnome, but
Let the boy watch.
he's got to grow up sometime. He's gonna see us do more fucked. He has seen us do more fucked up shit.
So it takes you guys some time, probably. Oh, pardon, I had to burp. So
Well,
this
has
is
to walk back to the car and bring it back here, and it takes
Well,
a long
it's-
time.
well. I was supposed to say someone can get a message to A1. My brain broke. To get your ship that's here on Eberron headed y'all's way. It does take y'all. I imagine y'all do this early in the morning when you realize that no one is returning to this camp. So by the time the sun, you know, 8, 9, 10, by the time the sun is up in the sky over the sea, you guys make it to the dock district on one of the kind of ground levels of Sharn, and you don't have to wait but a couple of minutes before you see your, not the Dragonfly ship, your fucking Wasp ship, the Ember Wasp, and it does touch down on an unused section of dock. And let's see if you. I wonder if you guys would. Sorry. You may or may not
Stop
get miffed at. You may or may not get miffed at by the dockmaster, who doesn't appreciate the ship dropping out of the sky. You didn't do all your paperwork and stuff, but you guys make your way back over to the Wasp and load these. I imagine he probably wants to ignore the people hauling these fucked up looking Warforged around. Before you guys load your shit back up on the Wasp, and I'm guessing take it back to Mantis HQ, where once you get it aboard the Wasp, what's your plan, Mantis? As you guys are frantically like dropping the fucking heavy ass fake forged you were carrying around. Takes 4 or 5 of you to haul up to the ship.
We could take them to our place, send a message to Sly to meet us there. The ship would park at our place anyway. And this way, he can take a look at them somewhere a little more private, rather than the theater lobby.
Yeah,
Down with that.
actually, it's not a bad idea.
Leave him on the front lawn.
A warning.
Have them all laid out on a tarp or something.
Like folded over like Egyptian mummies, just like.
Okay.
Yeah, I say we
So,
tell Sly we use the stone. Say, hey, we've got something that you'll be interested in, related to Warforged-like entities. You can meet us at the manor at the Mantis HQ.
okay. Perfect.
Can we before he shows up, because I assume he's probably gonna want to come pretty quick, because he knows what we were doing. Do we want to take a minute to try and look over some of these documents and see if there's anything important here that we may or may not want to share?
Fair point. Take a look at through the old cipher and try to decrypt them quicker.
Indeed. So I have lowered the DC for these since you guys have already done this. Randy, Demos, and Zephyr, y'all were the big 3 spearheaders of this last time. Any 3 of you can make, I guess it was an investigation check. Or maybe it was an
3.
insight check. Pardon, I keep burping. Oh, at this lower DC since you guys have done this before.
My insight is +4, but my investigation is +2.
can go
I'm
ahead
only
and do
plus 3
insight.
on insight.
Demos, is that
Sorry.
nothing? The investigation checks from earlier, right?
The 13, yeah, that's from earlier back at the crime scene. Oh, I'm sorry. You want me to
Yeah, go ahead and let's see what you.
take a big 5?
Zephyr, can you save him?
Just kidding. My investigation's a flat 0.
Let me see. Let's
see that-
let's go
See
for it.
that insight check, Zephyr. All right.
A 20.
There you go.
This is fun. This is hilarious. You guys open the lockbox and begin to. Sorry, chewing on that. A1 suggests that someone keep a lookout through the eye. Well, maybe he would candidly point out that someone should make sure that you're not snuck up on. That someone should make sure we know when Mr. Sly gets here.
Huh.
I imagine he would have to knock. Yeah. We not. I kind of
That's
assume
fair.
we.
Huh.
I kind of assume we have a staff, but maybe that's a bit presumptuous and elitist.
Sorry. Anyway, 20 insight. So you guys begin to break down the
A1,
information.
we should also make sure that A1 is concealed when Sly arrives.
Sorry, I just liked the idea of one of you watching for him, like through the fucking necklace y'all have. I thought it just tickled my brain the right way. Anyway, as you guys get these papers out of this lockbox and begin to put them down, I guess this wouldn't even be in the parlor, maybe in the library at Demos' workstation or somewhere similar. Maybe even there are some rooms back here that look like they're kind of hidden rooms. I have a hard time finding doors for them. So perhaps you're in one of the back areas. You guys begin poring over these documents and using the cipher you ciphered before. Zephyr, you pick out very quickly because the previous notes you guys had recovered had a lot of financial data in them, fiscal data in them. And Zephyr, you pick out very quickly that you see a lot of the same names of the same businesses. You see a lot of repeat information. You also see what you quickly gather to be demographical information. Addresses, family members, assets outside of their businesses. And Zephyr, with that score, you even, as you drill down into some of these notes, you find blackmail material. You find some somewhat disturbing implications that some of these people's family members have been taken, and other various evidence of manipulations for many of these businesses. You find, for instance, like you would find a record where it was recorded that this and this threat was sent to this and this person. And maybe below that, a status update, working well, not working well, kidnapped so-and-so, escalated, etc., etc. There's a large chunk of what you've been able to identify, Zephyr, seems to be a lot of written information for how they are blackmailing, controlling, or scheming many shops and not organizations, but many, I'll call them money laundering fronts in Sharn.
Wow, amazing.
Is there anything in there at all about who it might be connected to? Even a hint.
Think about this.
Or,
I mean,
more important,
guess not.
and equally as important, is anything mention Sly or anything related to his organization?
Diamond Theater or...
No, 6 for a 16. So I forgot these are kind of technically to see how long it takes you guys. So you're only going to get a little more before you don't find anything that references diamonds. You don't find anything that would reference eyes, like the eyes of Undare or anything like that. So I would think that some of the high-level things you all can take away pretty quickly is that there is a very large organization looking for something. This particular faction of the organization, I would think with the 16, Randy, you gain the insight that whatever is going on here is a sub-faction of a larger organization. This one seems to work through fiscal/mercantile means. And that they are spread about Sharn/Corvair looking for something. It's a little bit difficult to tell at this point with the time you guys have. As you're beginning to realize these things, you hear the knock on the door from the front door, not like, or well, maybe in the back of the house. Someone would hear it before you guys had to go answer the door and find Sly.
Before we let him in, the reason I asked the question, and I'll just shoot this to the other people who are standing nearby, and I guess I'll go open the door. I don't know. If there's nothing implicating him, I feel like he has infinite resources and time. This might be useful to actually let him have it.
No, yeah. I tend to agree. I was hoping for dirt on somebody we knew rather than just miscellaneous dirt, but
Yeah.
it's far from dirt cheap, and so am I. So let's see what we can get for this.
Now you're thinking. I now open the door.
Okay. You guys lead Sly back into the parlor here where the piano and stuff is. Has Cade with him, I guess. Both of them looking a little bit excited. You know, this is something they do a lot. It's always exciting when an adventurer calls you and says, I found something neat. Demos banging on the piano. Does Demos play terribly?
Call this- I call this one Pirate Harpsichord Tavern, because that's what the track in
Alright.
World 26.
For you guys
You must play let's find out together, shall we, Devin?
I just imagine instead of like playing, he's just like banging.
It's not bad. I'm self-taught.
Maybe the first time it was just you banging on the piano, and this time he's over here like actually playing something. Because Cade looked disgusted the first time. So
right.
you get an appraising look from Cade, who looks mildly approved. Cade approves +3. Before Sly sits down in one of the chairs at the table, and you guys watch him produce 2 bottles of liquor. I like to think it's a different bottle each time with him. Yeah, he says, we of course don't have to partake in this, but it seems that we do so often. Anyway, you all said you had, so I'm assuming did y'all really put that shit in the front yard? All the scrap piles and stuff?
No, I imagine it's somewhere within the house. Like,
I suppose.
oh, still, look, I think my mindset was to leave it on the ship,
Okay.
and we just take him up to the ship
Like-
and check it out.
Because it's parked on the roof, right? So we can just take him up there and let him see.
Solid. Says you all said you had something that you thought I might like to see. I hope your efforts have been fruitful.
We've come across something that you've requested. You've told us to keep you included in any discoveries we make regarding Warforged-like entities. We have 4 or 5, I believe, upstairs that I think you'd like to take a gander at.
Sounds like there was quite a few of them there. That's sounds like y'all was successful. Let's go take a look now, partners. He will be led up there, assuming y'all do so. Back up to the roof to the ship where you guys go in and show him the rusted Warforged and the big Warforged Hulk. So which he walks in, and you all walk into the ship, and he looks, and you can see Cade looks a little green around the gills. Cade does not like what he sees, but Sly's much harder to read, much more poker faced as he's looking over at this. He says, and these are for sure the things you guys fought inside the rock.
Oh, but assuredly. In fact, they wielded some rather unique weaponry that we've taken liberty of adding to our arsenal. Though everything has a price.
I mean, I will be willing to look at whatever you have to sell, but I assume you all want to sell. He gestures to the I won't call them corpses, the scrap piles. Surely you don't want to have this sitting around in your ship for an extended period of time. This is
Shoot, I was thinking about putting their heads on stakes out front, but I guess if you want them, we'll take some money for it. It's all right.
You all are welcome to keep them, of course, as your distrust has been clear. But I wonder if you all will have the time to look at them the way that they should. Now, obviously, this is our first interaction with them. I know nothing about these things. and would pay you handsomely, as I've already promised, to know more. I guess you are welcome to keep them.
I don't think we have any inclination of that. I think he was just
No, and
wanted them for decorative purposes as opposed to.
I personally take offense. I'm like, I don't know about distrust, partner. I'm just gonna. We couldn't have, we could have just kept him on the ship and not said a word. I feel like we're doing all right over here. It seems like maybe you're getting a different vibe.
That bacon would make a good barbecue pit.
Are you projecting
Yeah, it would.
distrust? Insight check.
He's mostly commenting on the, you're still hiding a thing from him. You don't know what it is. He's going to keep ribbing about that. But,
Listen here, I forgot what it was.
sorry, baby giggle.
I didn't withhold information from you. I fucking forgot. I was drunk. What do you want from me?
He says, no, y'all would be doing phenomenal if you would just accept coin for every bit of information that you could give me, including these things.
Well, we're working up to it.
Hey, I reckon. How about some brownie points? And I'll I guess, show him the satchel of documents, the lockbox, saying, "Toss some coin in for this too."
Oh my. You see him kind of processing a little bit. He says, "You guys found all of this in the black zone."
Yeah.
That's
not
not what
what
they
I call it,
prefer.
Pretty cool, huh?
Uh-huh. Anyway, moving past that, he says, "Now, you believe this thing," he points to the Hulk, "was preventing our scouts from coming back? It doesn't look particularly alert."
Well, who's the professionals here? Feel like
You all
we
have
had
more experience
had
with
used a
these
lot of-
things than anyone else.
I do have a question. The thing that ran off when we first got there, did you describe what it looked like? For some reason in my brain, I imagine it like a weird mechanized bird just
Y'all-
like uncloaked itself and ran down the hill.
Y'all never saw it. And now that you ask, Randy, you guys did not see anything that sounded like it could move that fast. Of the things you
Huh.
fought, I should say.
Gone and delivered the message. I forgot about that guy. Or that sentinel.
That's probably why now that I think about it, that's probably why the other guy disappeared so quick, because he knew somebody was coming and he was like, "I'm scooting. You guys handle it."
Oot,
Disappeared.
scoot, boogie.
You got it.
Sly looks around. He takes a look around. He looks at the document, sees that they're in that cipher, and he kind of furrows his brow. He looks up, kind of genuinely curious, maybe a little bit confused. Says, "Are you all done with these? There are quite a bit here."
You're welcome to the robots, the information, and 2 of the 4 hammers, as well as the entire arsenal. We won't charge you
If
for a
you-
javelin, but
If you show him a hammer, he kind of chuckles and he says, them can be bought from quite a few venturing outlets on the rock."
we'll save you the trip. Part of the bundle.
You reckon them weapons. I reckon them evidence. I handle that however you want.
We could take 2 of them if y'all think they look worth looking over. Okay, both. So he says, "I give you 3,000 for this." 3,000 gold pieces. He points to the regular corpse. Points to the big one. "I give you 5,000 gold pieces for this."
3,000 per small one, yeah.
I assumed y'all grabbed one.
I think we said we
I don't-
take them all, yeah.
It'd
We
been hard to
specify.
move all of them. They're large creatures made of metal. Would have taken y'all a good bit of time to move all the corpses. I guess y'all had the time. I could have, though.
I'll respect your ruling on this. Maybe we split the difference and say we got 2.
What was the point in taking all of them? Just to turn all of them in?
Yeah, just to cash in per head.
He said he
Same
wanted
reason
them,
we
so
caught-
we're like, "Ed."
Same reason we broke international fishing law. I brought home like 43 Skybers or something.
Yeah, they bring home a bunch.
It's only 6 per. We should have capped it 30.
No,
but we were really
so-
banking on not being pulled over.
And and that's the thing. I don't think Sly would pay for more than one. He just wants the one for them to look at. It's not a harvesting thing. It's a I want to examine this thing, and only one team is going to examine this thing at a
That's
time. Um,
well, you have one, and then we have one for the spike out front, or a handsome statue. Again, I'm totally down with Scooby doing this, son bitch.
Hilarious. So 3,000 for that, 5,000 for the big one. He'll give you 200 asteroid hammers. I don't remember how much asteroid hammers cost. He'll give you 300 gold for both the asteroid hammers. And he says he's looking at the lockbox. It will be difficult to tell how much that is worth. It looks like a lot of information, and we're almost done. I guess you guys gave him a cipher. Even with the cipher, that is a lot of information to go through. It would be difficult to price beforehand. Is it possible you could leave it in a location we could both peruse? One of the back rooms in the theater, perhaps. I could have our friend Cade here drop it off, and any of us could come and go as we please.
I think that's fair
I think
enough.
that's alright.
Sly looks pretty pleased with that. Assuming you guys accept his prices, he will pay you guys the 8,300 gold total for your little loot haul there. And he will gather up the papers you guys have given him, put them all in the lockbox, and lock the lockbox back up. And he and Cade will take that back to the Diamond Theater. You guys, he tells you, he gives you like brief directions. You know, walk in, take a ride, go down the stairs, to like a kind of back office. He gives you an arcane lock word. It's magenta taint this time. I don't fucking know.
I like to think he tells us like the magenta is the code word, but that's how we remember it between each other. It's magenta tank.
Yeah, that's just, so let you guys know how to get where these documents are going to be. It says that there may be some other agents that specialize in this kind of thing moving in and out of that room. If someone attempts to stop you, show them your pass.
And if it's magenta, I understand your complexion's unique, but you should probably get that looked at. That's not a good sign for.
He picks up, like, imagine none of the liquor was drank, and he takes both bottles with him when he gets up to leave.
Oh.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys any business you have with Sly before? He says otherwise, me and Cade will take this back to the theater.
Nothing that comes to mind.
That was pretty much it.
Okay, I didn't hear anybody else, so they do go on their merry way to get that back to the theater as quick as possible. It is probably break time, so I think we're gonna take a break. Y'all should be thinking about how you would like to spend the rest of this day. It is y'all spent all night watching, got up the next morning, had this conversation with Sly. Sly probably leaves around midday, maybe a little bit before lunch. So you do have the rest of this day to do whatever you please. You could take a rest, but then your 8 hours would fall like as the sun's going down. You'd be all flippity flopped. Guess it wouldn't matter. But
Let's say, is this our third long rest?
no, sir, y'all got one recently. This is a short rest. Let's see.
Review the calendar.
Review the calendar. So y'all got a short rest on the 20th, and then y'all stayed up the night of. Oh, hold on a second. Maybe y'all get the long rest now. Y'all do get the long rest. Oh no.
Let's say it's been 3 sessions, so I don't know how many rests we've had in that.
Oh, you guys would have got a level of exhaustion for staying up to do that scouting. I didn't realize that.
We could rotate it, you know.
You didn't say it, I refuse to accept.
I mean, I just didn't realize.
I think session 22 was our last long rest. It's the last one I have written down. I don't have a date though.
You're right. I forgot because you're right. We skipped the short rest, so we kicked everything forward today.
Yeah, y'all skipped the short. The first night y'all stayed up to look at the camp, to scout out the camp, was the 19th, and so that spilled into the 20th, and so the day y'all just had was the 20th. Y'all were gonna have a short rest that night, but you haven't.
You did tell us earlier we got a short rest, yeah?
No, I thought
Do
you
you
were
think
skipping.
Yes, that was afterward.
I thought you were
I mean,
skipping.
do you think
a
that we
short
could have?
rest.
Well, since we stayed up through the night, do you think that we could have just taken rotation scouting? I mean,
That's a
This
good
place
point.
is mostly
And
abandoned, where I feel like
taking
we
your
could
rest.
squat.
That's a good point, and your rest would have been uninterrupted. No, I agree with that. So please hit your long rest button, guys, because you would have gotten that night while you were
Then you can
keeping
hit that
honest.
like and subscribe.
Damn,
Oh,
she double
double
tapped.
green highlights.
She did double tap.
Double tapping.
But today
it's the
would
most
be
important rule of Zombieland.
today would be the 21st.
What the?
First, he said.
And you guys are welcome to.
21st.
I would say that probably at some point during this day, probably in the morning, so this may be why you're talking to Sly. Demos, you do get a message from Professor Calvin. Bree is almost ready to take the shard away from Morgrave. She has been looking at it for some time. Would like to meet when you have the chance.
Demos will reply. We'll make our way to Moorgrave today. Meet you at the office.
There's no response, but
I'd say.
imagine Demos shares that with the group at some point during, before, or after Sly is gone.
After Sly is gone.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to do at Mantis headquarters? Or on the way to Morgrave?
I don't think so. I'll ask you. Is there any benefit to going and talking to Vera at all about these weird mechanical monster guys we found? I don't know if she'd have an interest in
We
this or
do
not.
technically have a spare one.
I would also like to narrate that throughout the day, at least, maybe you guys are there, maybe you're not, there will be some agents moving in and out of your house to remove these corpses. These junk piles. Robot corpses. I know, it's hard to tell, Randy. You're welcome to do so, if you guys would wish.
You can do your thing, maybe swing by. We got a day. It's fun.
Sounds like you want to go to Morgrave instead.
Yeah, I agree, unless somebody has a problem with that.
I'm just along for the ride.
Swiggity swoogity.
You guys head back to Morgrave College. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Doesn't take y'all too long to get over there. Now that y'all are up there on the upper levels. You go. I forgot I have a map I can take you guys to. Morgrave.
Murgrave.
You guys make your way back up to the office areas. Looks like some of y'all's tokens is already there. I like to think maybe Calvin is kind of waiting for you all in the student lounge area that's below, but makes his way up when he sees you guys come in and maybe stops in the foyer there before his office. Where I imagine there is at least some seating, even if I forgot to put it on the map. And he gives you guys a sit rep, gives you guys an update. He says that Bree has had access to Morgrave to look at the shard for a handful of days now. We believe she is close to being ready to move it, so that we can begin to do. She has agreed to allow the university to work with her and her people to attempt to hook it up, for lack of a better term, to her project. The biggest reason I wanted to speak with you is to verify any interest that your group or you all may have in exploring the dig site in Zendrix. Once we hand the shard over, the Crimson Codex will have many more resources at its disposal to turn towards this thing.
I think that was our next intended goal. I'm trying to remember.
It was for me. For you. For me, for you.
I think this is like one of the last things we have to settle up before we hit that big wide blue yonder.
Sort of. He also, he has some other things to say. Go ahead. You had something to say?
We do intend to make that an imminent priority. We have a couple of things we're looking to wrap up first. Well, actually, no. This was the thing we were going to wrap up first. We have to speak with some people, but we could be available in a matter of, a day or two. If I recall, we're teleporting there, correct?
And we have refined that a good bit. Very few casualties lately.
Great. Very few lately. Only 6
Minimal
people died this
casualties.
week.
Minimal casualties.
The word I was looking
He
for was
says-
no casualties. Thank you for your reassurance.
He says, I've spent a good bit of time with the device that you left me.
Orrery.
I believe it would be best for you all to take it back at some time in the near future. I hope to make it more usable than it is now. But at this time, it's a dangerous object. I don't think should fall in the wrong hands.
Oh, if we're taking a ship across the galaxies, beyond the worlds as we know it, should have a nice orrery aboard, don't you think?
Yeah, he kind of shrugs. He says, "Well, I'm not certain exactly what it is or why it works the way that it does, but it could be an amazing instrument to seek out pieces of prophecy. I believe it could read the prophecy at whim if properly powered. But it is supremely hungry, Demos. We lost 2 more apprentices the other day.
To the orrery?
There were
Interesting.
15
Wow.
mages in the circle.
Were
13 came out. That is
Oh God! Not
exceptionally.
Jaw.
I don't know. Is an exceptionally hungry artifact.
Well,
refresh my memory, DM. We're waiting on the ship from Cyrilius.
Which,
painted,
yeah, I think this is like day 4 since you've ordered it, so like, within the next day or two, it'll be coming in, or possibly even today. He told you 3 days to a weekish.
We will arrange to have it picked up. Is it here at the school, or is it?
He tells you he has it secured. Guess that might be at his home. He says, I guess he has the tower. He's a wizard. I can retrieve it from my tower. There is a small amount of work I would like to finish. I would be glad to alert you and meet you here to hand it off when that is finished.
We have just a short time until we're ready, so that would work quite nicely.
He will set the stuff in motion. He needs to do that. Is there anything else you guys have for Caldener or while you're at Morgrave?
Except for booty now. I need to, out of curiosity, to Zendrick. If we were to fly, what would our ETA be on?
So you would be sailing to another continent. I'm going to assume flying is a good bit faster than sailing. I guess raw it's not. You're probably looking at, I'm going to say like 4 days to
If we-
fly. Or maybe like to what's it called? Halo jump? Or there's a word for it on No Man's Sky where you go up out of the atmosphere, you fly a little bit, you go back down. You go up, you fly back down.
I'm blanking on the name for it.
So, is today the 24th? So we moved forward a day, right? The 23rd is when we would have gotten the rest.
Today's the 21st.
21st.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Why is our wrestling event? I don't think it's still next. Yeah.
Well, I was looking at the calendar. I was trying to remember if we had missed our meeting with Vimac, but we haven't. It's the 5th of next month. So I was almost like, let's burn the extra days so we're closer to that, but it still won't get us particularly close to that, even if we burn the 8 days.
I am also down burning the days so I can enchant some stuff for you guys.
Mm.
You having the shield sort of helped.
That also makes things moving forward like that. You were just told she's getting ready to move it. In 8 days, she may have moved and begun to work on, etc., etc. So we'll accelerate things around you guys. Bree, Calvin had just told you guys that they're nearing the process of moving it out of Moorgrave to wherever she needs it moved to.
Oh, not talking about the aura anymore. Talking.
Yeah, talking about the shard. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. No, you're fine.
Which she can't go anywhere without us. Like she has to have the big ship. So
She's waiting on the
or
ship. Yeah,
she's-
you gather
she's
everything right
prepping
now.
things.
Yeah, everything right now is getting everything she can done before she has to actually do the work of putting it all on the ship.
Let's go ahead, get the ship, bring it back here, or go to the rock. If it's not ready, stay a day or two until it is. Come back down, have her put it on the ship. Maybe hit Zendrick while she has the big ship, and then by the time we're back, she should be done. Hopefully.
Who knows?
If we
Not
burn
me.
2 days, that would actually put us. If we burn 2 days, it's 21.
Burn 2 days
Spend
to
it.
get.
Let's burn 2 days, take 4 there, 4 back. If we spend a day there, that actually brings us back on the 4th, which is the day before we were supposed to meet Vimac 2. So
And that's 10 days of enchanting that I could knock out a couple of things.
yeah. I mean, I'm fine with that. Hopefully people have things they want enchanted. I still want to do something with the hat. I just don't know what. I don't want it to be like traditionally magical per se. I don't want the hat to be like, I cast a spell. I just wanted to do something kind of cool.
You've got time. I was thinking of trying to help see if Drix, if you wanted anything enchanted.
Mm-hmm.
I can do up to a 3rd level for.
Are you guys planning on flying to the rock?
No.
How long's it take? Oh, we're gonna teleport.
I didn't think we were flying, but we can if we want to.
So
I was thinking
Okay, wait.
teleport to the rock, wait the day or two until the ship is ready, then take the ship, come back to Eberron, drop it off, and then go to Zendrick,
There you go.
potentially by one of our smaller ships like the Wasp or something, and then come back. So 10 days of travel
I see.
time.
Interesting. Sorry. I
Well,
missed
we'll
where
actually-
Zendrick was working to that.
We'll actually add it. How many days it take to get to the rock from here? We'll actually add those days on top of that. Like if we're sailing the
think
ship
it
back
was 2
once we're
days.
there.
If we add those days, then we. Oh, okay. Well, if it's the same number of days we were planning on waiting
Maybe it's-
anyway, that's fine.
Maybe it's a week.
If it's more than the 2 days, it'll put us behind on our meeting for Vimac.
Yeah.
One moment. The Rock of Brawl is 2 weeks. That's what I thought. Took me a second. I was like, not 2 days, 2 weeks.
No, let's teleport.
Yeah, so if we teleport there, the 2 weeks, that's tough. The 2 weeks back will actually put us, that'll put us at the meeting with Vimac. We'll just teleport right back and do that before we leave, I guess? I don't know.
That does put you in a funny situation with the Codex.
Yeah.
You gather inside of those 2 weeks, they will likely have be ready to mobilize and perhaps have begun to do that themselves. You can teleport to the rock instantly to check on your ship or to, have A1 fly it back or hire someone to fly it back or maybe pay a little more to have it teleported again. That's kind of up to you guys.
Well, he's not a spellcaster. I was gonna say I wouldn't mind Sai coming to visit if he could like hire somebody to fly the ship to our base, let him check out where we live. You come visit us for once, big guy.
Trying to get Devin out of his cave. Trying to get Cyrelius off the rock. Same level of difficulty.
No, you all have to come to my cave now.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Cyrelius, like, this is my swamp now, homie.
We didn't even play any pool.
Yeah, I think that might be the play. I don't know, because I don't know how much longer it's going to take for the ship, but we could either pay the extra to have it expedited here, or we could see if we could get him to hire somebody and come fly it down for us when it's ready.
We should probably also look at just hiring on some extra muscle. If we're gonna crew this massive ship plus 2 smaller ships, we're gonna need some people.
True.
Now, excuse me, A1 can pilot a ship, and we have spellcasters among us. But if we ever need them to act independently, we should have at least 3 capable pilots. Or I don't know if the smaller ships can dock on the bigger one. Can dock on the
I
bigger
don't
one,
think
and
they
then
can. I'm trying to find a. I'm gonna try to brew up some rules for like we're gonna take one of the regular maps, but we're gonna say that it's like 2 times bigger or 4 times bigger, and it's gonna be like a Spelljammer carrier kind of deal. I'll figure it out eventually. But no, those ships will be like twice as expensive or 3 times as expensive or whatever.
Oh yeah, we talked about like an aircraft carrier.
all right. So we go park the 2 small ships inside the asteroid that was hollowed out. We use the big boy to push it around.
I see.
What could possibly go
Okay.
wrong?
So, is anyone opposed? It sounds like you guys want to go back to the rock to check on the ship, at the very least.
Yeah.
And to Damos's point, I guess we could, if he doesn't want to come, we could talk to Sai about seeing if he has any hired muscle he trusts or anybody we could go to like outsource some henchmen of sorts and trust them to bring it back to us when it's ready if we're not here. And then just keep them on staff.
Okay, it sounds like you guys go back to the Mercane. Your fee is again waived. You guys have proven yourselves to be competent and lucrative business partners. Pardon.
Every time Deimos walks through, he always mentions how much like they spent on the Spelljammer. Just like, oh, I keep forgetting we spent $10,000 here, or sold them an $8,000. Always just makes a point to mention the dollar signs.
Sorry, I keep burping. You guys are teleported back to the Rock of Brawl. It doesn't take you guys long to make your way back to XT Ltd, which you guys are familiar with, have been before. Cyrilius is probably, or what time was it? Cyrilius is probably around, even if he may be outside talking to someone when you guys walk in, and he files in not too long after you guys get inside. And sit down at a table, get some drinks orders. This time he just moseys right on over to the table. You can imagine a big hippo man, thump, thump, thump. Pulls one of the chairs out and sits down. He says, well, I'm happy to see all of you again. Your ship could be here any hour. I imagine you're all real excited. I know I would be. I was the first time I bought one of these dandies.
Dandy. Oh, we're rather looking forward to it. We've grown to have a small fleet, and this will be the largest we've had yet. Very excited.
They're very good flagships, friend.
I guess I'll talk. We have some business we need to handle, and I reckon we're good enough friends now that I trust your judgment. You wouldn't happen to know anybody personally or know an agency where we might be able to hire on some additional hands full time to help us manage a few of these ships, move them around for us?
Oh no. Okay. Sorry, I couldn't see my green light for a second, and I thought my microphone broke. So he tells you, he says, well, if you're looking for the most professional, you should get the Vulcan's Legion are the most professional you'll get around here. They're the best of the best, but they're also the priciest of the priciest, if you know what I mean. Otherwise, I found many many adventuring guilds out of Sharn usually offer. The ones on the rock are a little more exotic, and they don't meld together as well due to their diversity. But the ones on
Pretty
Sharn,
diverse ourselves.
perhaps those would suit you all better. But most adventuring guilds would hire out solid help to crew to crew your ships if that's what you all are looking for. And then, of course, you could go talk to the Syndiath line. They rent out crews too, but they're also pretty exorbitant.
Do we know those people?
The Syndiath line is you can think of the ferry. Yeah, on the map it says ferries to moon. They're like the public transportation on Eberron. You take a Syndiath line ship to another planet. If you don't have your own ship, you have to take, someone else's Syndiath line, or like the Galactic taxi cabs. Galactic Airliner maybe is a better.
And they'd be cheaper than the other option mentioned?
He tells you that the Syndiath line would be cheaper than Vulcan's Legion, but you're only going to get a crew. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to protect themselves. They just know how to fly a ship. Vulcan's Legions hires out mercenaries, grizzled adventurers like you all.
I'm thinking the mercs over the pilots, just because we're going to need somebody to protect this stuff while we're out and about, too. In case shit does go down. Maybe we check their price for the expedition?
Yeah, I definitely don't want to hire taxi drivers to fly our ship around and get
I don't know.
taken over by pirates.
They take no shit.
Taxi drivers take no shit.
They fucking packing. 24/7, 365.
There's a movie called
Here's
Taxi
something-
Driver. So I think
Something
know
else I
about-
just thought about. Something that I might would pose. Maybe not here. But at some point I would bring up the thought that we know somebody who's literally making crews to do work and move ships. And we seem to have a pretty good relationship with them. So that might also be a touch point, since we're planning on talking to her anyway. If we're going to price things, we might as well price everything.
No, I agree.
Well,
All right, where else would you guys like to go on the rock? Are you going to go try to speak with Vulcan's Legion?
I'd like to get a price.
Okay, this is interesting.
remind them that we
guys-
kicked their butts earlier.
Well, I was about to say, you guys go to their headquarters, which is a nicer. So this is, as I've kind of insinuated earlier, they seem to be kind of the premier private military organization on the rock / in wild space. So while maybe not in the nicest parts of town, it is a pretty professional looking office, and you guys get a few looks as you walk through. Adventuring groups would draw looks anyway. You gather that there are quite a few adventuring groups that make up some of these Vulcan Legions members. You guys get a curious amount of looks before you reach what would be kind of like an entrance desk or a customer service desk of some kind, and a very crisp-looking woman with a sergeant insignia on her shoulders. She says, can I help you all? Are you looking for work?
Quite the opposite. We're looking for labor. Damn.
Oh. Unusual, but not entirely uncommon. You're looking to hire more mercenaries.
Indeed.
How many people do you need? What do you need? We offer a wide variety of services, and you can see she sniffs a little bit, and she makes a little bit of a flippant comment that she's surely you wouldn't need that much help. Those of you that have vanquished Vimac, so you get a little bit of a snooty comment. You guys seem to have a reputation for what you've done in the mercenary network.
Vanquished Bimac because we
Well,
severed
yeah.
his ties with his old organization. Yeah, is that how that happened?
He had hired some people. You killed like two out of the three, or maybe 3 out of the 4 people that he had hired Vulcan's Legion to come with him. And it's
I
not.
think as far as
she's not
society was
hostile,
concerned-
but you could tell she's maybe a little miffed that this ragtag group of adventurers killed off, some of the most elite private military adventurers in the area. If
Hope
you
you take no offense. Understand that we just had a conflict of contract. What Vimac was after, what we were exactly hired to protect. And feelings aside, contract does come first. I'm sure you understand.
Indeed. I don't know how she would say this. She makes another comment that you gather Vulcan's Legion, have not seen him since that Legion member came back and reported that incident.
It's a shame.
And if you tell her you need something to crew a large ship, I guess you could even tell her Bombard since you know the name. She would tell you that they don't often need to crew these. It's their understanding that they are rather large, and that it would be approximately 4 gold pieces per crew member. And you're looking at, I think it's like 15 crew members.
So
Is
that
that
would
per
be
day?
60 gold.
Is that per day?
15.
With what frequency?
I think that's per week.
For 10 days. Pretty
Y'all
solid.
hit me with. Had quite a few things prepped. Did not have crew logistics prepared.
So it's $240, 240 gold a month, approximately.
That's nothing.
Let me see.
What we're
But
doing.
make sure. Crew 12. So 4 gold times 12.
48.
I'm gonna say it's a week.
48 a week.
Yeah.
We can swing that easy because that's under 200 a month.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. It's like 190 something.
192, I think.
192, yeah.
She asked if you would like to include them. What's the word? There are rules. You know what? Let's do this. There are rules for crews and things in another book. I will dig those up and grab them and cut them out. I will read them. I will understand them. And then over Discord, we can hash out the exact numerical logistics for how you guys want to pay your crew and things like that. So if that's a little less than what we're doing now, I think it will be. We can handle that in more detail through the week. I guess we may have a couple of weeks. Is it time for a plug? Randy, can I plug?
Sure.
Next week we will be playing an adventure, a one-shot DM'd by the illustrious Josh. So, those of you that will be there, be prepared. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great.
Return to Candlekeep, sort of.
Return to Candlekeep, sort of. Indeed, I like that. And then the week after that, we'll finish that up, hopefully, and it'll be great. I'm ready. It's gonna be great.
Fingers crossed.
All right. You guys
Go easy on me now.
get prices that we will work out. I'll pull those rules up hopefully over the weekend while Tennessee's getting their brains beat in by Alabama. I'll be looking away from the TV like this, looking up crew rules out of Saltmarsh, like anything but watching this game. Is there anything else you guys would like to do on the rock?
I'd like to before. Can I like what's the word I'm looking for? I want to retroactively plug a snide comment in when she talks about the one crew member that came back, and say, "It was mighty generous of us to decide to let that guy go when he so flippantly attacked my friends." Just saying.
Man has a point. The bug.
She seems to understand that y'all are 6 very powerful people that together generally do what you want, because your numbers.
Basically does.
Yeah.
Level 6.
I would not be able to. I would not be able to be an adventurer because I would just do whatever I wanted. The intrusive thoughts would always win. When there's me and 5 other people running around that like most of a town couldn't kill, it would be bad. My mortality is the only thing that keeps me in check. So
this.
Oh,
technically
memento
speaking,
mori, Devin.
because
Memento mori.
because of this interaction, we technically still don't have a plan for getting our ship to home if we're not there to get it.
which I would say that's not too bad for, or well, you could ask somebody if you wish to try to get someone to fly it home. Yeah, I said it would be there within the hour, so within the amount of time you guys spend just moving around, you do eventually get a message from someone you don't know, a mage probably, that identifies themselves as part of Cyrelius' crew and tells you your ship is at dock on the rock.
Hmm. Reckon we could pay them to take it all away?
I mean, 50 gold a day. You're talking a 2-week trip. You're talking 20 days. If we teleport it, which I get is more money, I don't know, 50 gold a day for 20 days. That adds up.
10,000
It's
gold?
like
No. Yeah.
it's like 1,000. It's like 1,000 gold. Um, if we instead
2
shrink it, how
weeks.
much does it cost to shrink it and get it teleported with us?
Oh,
So to move it, oh man, hold on a second. 50 gold a day at 20
it's
days.
1,000.
Is it 1,000? So it's
Yeah.
probably going to be. It's probably going to be 1,500 to have it teleported.
And she gets it 20 days sooner and can make 20 days work on it. I think we're getting the better bang for our buck if we teleport it and get it to her quicker.
That's fair. I mean, it's only 500 gold more. We just made 8,300. Like, I think we're
Yeah.
okay. Toss 1,500 gold.
This the Mercane we're haggling with? Right?
Yeah. So if you respond kind of in kind, there's a little bit of run around that has to happen. You guys go to the dock and meet with the person that had brought the ship. You explain what you want. That you guys all do go back to the Mercane. The Mercane agree. You guys pay the Mercane or whatever, the 1,500 gold. One of them disguises themselves. They look like a very tall tiefling. Since they are so tall, it's hard for them to make themselves much shorter. And one of them or multiple of them. For the first time, you guys see more than one of them kind of emerge from the back of the shop. Disguise themselves, they come with you. The ship is shrunk back down into something that they could, maybe not pocket sized, maybe it's even football sized, or maybe even a little bigger, cinder block or something. Something that could be carried if you're walking into a teleportation circle. It does take them a bit of time. They are having to reduce the size of something multiple times. Pardon, I had to burp. And you guys do have it teleported back to Sharn this time, and they actually tell you that they'll be glad to teleport you back to your regular spot, but you will find your ship at the dock. You guys kind of gather wherever they're sending these Mercane that have shrunk it. They're putting them closer to the dock. They're going to go set it down and leave. But they don't seem comfortable in revealing many more of their teleportation spots.
That seems fair.
I think, yeah, we have enough people to move it between us, maybe. At least to the... Are we
Well,
taking it to the college?
That's a good point. Where do you want the ship put at?
I thought we were taking it to her to put the engine on, so I assume her shop. Or somewhere that she wants it to be.
Yeah.
We're taking it so she can put on the Starbreaker helm, yeah?
So we're gonna skip over some exposition that would happen. It's not hard for you guys to get in contact with Bree. A1 has sending. Many of you have message, etc., etc. You guys have. I guess you don't have a stone for Vera, but it doesn't take you guys too long to get in contact with Bree and figure out how this needs to work. So in this case, I like to think you guys are teleported with the ship. Back to Sharn. Kind of like I said, football style, carrying this miniaturized ship. You are given a spell scroll to allow you to dispel the enchantments on the ship so that it can resume its size. And then you guys are teleported back to Sharn and released back into the street. After getting a hold of Vera, you managed to make your way to, instead of which you kind of expected to be an upper tier district, nicer workshop, you are led down to a bottom level. No, this is for Spelljammers. I'm wrong. There are no warehouse districts in the upper levels, but you do find yourself in a nicer laboratory, for lack of a better term. This seems to be one of the buildings that Bree works out of. Much nicer than the Kenneth warehouse y'all are familiar with, considering that's like a we're gonna go hide here warehouse. So you guys do walk into. It looks very similar to this. We're gonna use. I'm gonna restore y'all a map real quick. We're gonna ignore all of the tokens on this map. I'm gonna delete them while I'm talking. Blat. Oh boy, here we go. So again, y'all don't have to worry about the tokens on this map, but we're gonna use this map so y'all have a visual. You do eventually make it into a lab similar to the one that you guys had investigated earlier. I know some of you stop this. Some of you weren't here for that, but it is very similar to the Kenneth lab you guys investigated earlier in this adventure. And you guys essentially walk in with the ship in your arms. And I'm assuming turn it over to Bree. When you guys make it in there, she is very happy to see you. You guys can tell she's been very busy. Looks very tired, very haggard. And you guys, at this point, maybe she's in the midst of helping them move of coordinating the move of the dragon shard into this laboratory. When you walk in, she sees you guys carrying the ship and looks vaguely dumbfounded. She says, "I can't believe you got it so fast. Oh, holy shit! You guys just up and bought a ship?" Well, maybe she just asks, "How did you get that?"
What? Color? Uh,
The bombard ship. You're carrying it like in your.
no, yeah, but quoting fucking Legally Blonde. What? Like it's hard? We went out. We picked out one we liked. We picked out the color we wanted in, and we bought it.
Oh,
Easy peasy.
here in a minute, y'all can see the ship if you want. It's not great. Okay. She looks a little bit dumbfounded. She says, "Oh, this is great." She does take you out to the main section of the lab where you guys can see that she has what appears to be, I like to think of it like a big Dr. Doofenshmirtz smirch style ray gun kind of construct. It doesn't have a seat you sit in or anything, but a very large cannon-like device with a sort
Yes,
of
the Assemblavenginator. Yes, yeah.
yeah, with like some kind of a rod on the end of it or some sort. I like to think of like a lightning conductor rod. You can't actually see the piece of darkness you guys gathered. You can see a section that's kind of rounded. You kind of imagine maybe it's been built into the center of this section, but that's sitting off to the side, and she goes to take the ship from you, the miniaturized ship from you, and kind of gestures to the ceiling. You guys can see where there has been things put in place to kind of hang this ship from the ceiling.
Whenever you're ready, we can dispel it and return it to its full size. But you're certain this space is big enough?
I would say looking around, you gather that it's going to be a tight fit, but they should be able to house it here and do their work they need to do.
I hug the wall to be safe.
Yeah, we'll do layer by layer and take our time in between. Like, take off one enlarge.
It takes
another enlarge.
about an hour as you guys strip the enchantments from it and are careful in the process not to squish anybody or mess up a hook or an attachment or anything of that nature. But at the end of the hour, you guys manage to finish stripping the enchantments away, and there is a whole bombard ship suspended from the ceiling. It is kind of, I like to imagine, where's my ruler? I like to imagine it's at like this angle to like make it fit in this building. But there's enough room to walk around underneath it, and there's a little bit of room between the walls, kind of where the back edges would be. Here we go. Bloop. So they do. They're mostly made of wood and brass. Brass moldings and things of that nature. They're not super high tech or anything like that, but this section here, the neck that sticks out of the front of the ship, has a cannon in it. So that's one of the first things that would kind of begin to happen here. I have a picture of it. One of the first things that Vera would set people to work on is they immediately begin to work on trying to take this gunpowder cannon out of the mouth that sits in the front. Here is
Shit's in the front.
Shit's in the front. Here's a picture from the book to give you guys an idea of what these actually look like. The dragon mouth in the front is where the cannon actually is. It's inside of its mouth. So that's the first thing they do is go about attempting to take this cannon out and replace it with the Starbreaker.
Can you just relocate it?
Yeah, I see the picture and I'm like, I changed our mind. We're keeping it.
We can't put that cannon on either of our other ships, can we? Too big?
Too big. Oh, the cannon? Yeah, probably too big.
Now, to be fair, I think we are putting a Star Destroyer inside of the mouth instead.
Let's take the cannon and put it in the entryway of our house where if somebody like opens the doors and we don't want them to, boom! It takes out a part of
Ooh.
Lower Shard.
Could we put it on the roof? Like anti-air defense up there?
You imagine with a little bit of time, you guys could figure out something to do with it or obtain another ship to mount it on. These ships are made specifically to hold them. It is rather unique, as you guys has been alluded before.
Probably could have got it for a lot cheaper if we told them to skip out on the cannon in hindsight. But
I had
that's
an
okay.
aneurysm about that. I'm sitting here like I have to narrate them taking this out of this thing because they just don't know that this comes with the thing. It was bad. I hated it. Anyway, that would be the first thing they started work on. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk to Bree about as she is issuing orders to begin the deconstruction of the front part of it and the cannon to come out of the mouth and things of that nature so they can get the Starbreaker mounted in there.
Do we want to show her the corpses of the Warforged thingies? The not forges? The Warforgeries, if you will.
Oh, there it is. I mean, do we think she'd have interest? Are we just carrying these things around like, look at this big metal scrap heap we found?
It was on our previous ship. We could have just loaded it onto our new one when we brought it to her. I guess it was time, but still.
If you were to ask her about them, even if you didn't have the bodies, she would encourage you to speak with Vera. That while they're very close, she doesn't know a whole lot about the Warforged, their history, and the Autonomes. They don't talk about business much when they're together outside of work.
What do you talk about?
I was literally about to ask. Literally.
I don't fucking know. I mean,
what do lesbians talk about, Evan?
I don't know. Me and my wife talk about pizza, so like.
Lesbians also talk about pizza.
I was about to say I would have to assume they like
Right.
talk
Yeah,
about
that's
food.
right.
I'm going to say they're coffee people. They like to go to coffee shops, so they talk about which coffee shop they're going to try next.
I was going to make a really insensitive joke, but now I'm not going to.
Nah. Anyway. How long do you think it'll take you for this transformation?
She gives you a time. She gives you a timeline of. She hopes at most once she gets the Dragon Shard over here, she hopes at most to take 6 weeks to get the ship ready to fly.
6 weeks. All right.
Now that's her like this long at the most. I hope.
I gotcha.
We were worried about a time crunch to miss stuff, but we got plenty of time.
Well, it would have been 20 days plus the 4 months, so it essentially been 6 weeks. So it would have been 8 weeks instead of 6 weeks. So I'm not too worried about it. I think we're good. We leave it with her. Any other thoughts on sure the Warforgeries or not? Oh, I have a blanket. What am I doing?
No, I mean, she told us to go to Vera. I reckon that's probably just our next move. Good luck with the ship. Destroying the ship, we just pay a lot of money for. We'll see you
Yeah.
later.
Have fun.
Sorry, keep burping. Sounds like y'all are going to Vera. Or would y'all rather skip Vera and go to whatever you're gonna do next? It sounded like Vera, so I think that's
I mean, Vera's fine.
okay.
I think we go
We
to
could talk
Vera,
about it,
ask
yeah.
her about the Warforge, ask her about a crew just to get a competing price, and then
Okay. She as you guys go back to the warehouse, she is there working. She usually is, and she greets A1. You know, pretty much every time she greets A1 and makes sure he's doing well before she kind of turns her attention to you guys. And you guys are there to ask about the forgeries, war forgeries.
mhm.
Rooney.
When you ask about them, she looks. It's something between anxious, nervous, and very curious. She says, as far as I'm aware, the House Kenneth is the only one that's ever figured out how to make Warforged. They take a insane amount of power to create. As far as I'm aware, you can't create anything like that except through the creation forges. I like to think she might even go on this like really kind of boring historical tangent about the creation forges and the Thronehold Accords and the stuff you've heard from me a couple of times. Before she says, I can't imagine they're making anything like this without a forge of some kind. And she does quiz you guys and give you a couple of questions y'all could pretty quickly answer about if they seemed sentient, if they talked to you guys ever at all, et cetera, et cetera. There's a couple of questions I won't get into detail on that you guys could answer from being around them. She says this is very worrying. If something or someone is close to, and you can see her kind of not spiraling but pretty close, and less for the idea that these exist and more for the idea that like if someone else created Warforged or Auto Gnomes, House Cannith would struggle. They wouldn't have a monopoly anymore. So you see her kind of move around and fret about that thought.
What? Well, I'll ask you first. We know a little bit of history because I think we've asked questions about like the last forges were shut down and stuff, right? Like nobody's supposed to be making these anymore.
Mm.
I'll ask her though. You said that these old forges it requires a ton of power to make one of these guys.
It's my understanding that they are a couple of pieces of ancient artifacts usually had to be gathered together before these things could be powered. I don't know much about them
Duh.
myself. They were shut down when I was young, but there were not many of them when Seer was still a country, which is where most of the Warforged were made out of.
How many people you reckon would still be alive that might even know where to find one of these?
Thiles and Iron likely know where many of the ones were in Seer. I mean, a short list, or well, she kind of shrugs. 15, 20 people amongst the higher levels of Cannith leadership. Mike could tell you where either some of the abandoned ones in Seer are, or where some of the ones are spread around Corvair. None of them are active at this time that Thiles is aware of.
Might be something to poke into. Never hurts to look, you know, make sure that nobody's operating something they have no business messing with.
That would be appreciated, and you can tell she, more than any other news you guys have ever given her, you can tell this has kind of stuck with her. She's doing a lot of pacing, kind of thinking, you know, if someone else has figured out how to make something like Warforged, that's a little scary for House Cannith, and perhaps a little scary in general. If you guys remember any of the stuff that Aaron talked to you all about. Pardon.
It's at the house, I assume. I think we established that we're not like carting it around like a weird show show prize.
Mm-hmm.
Although I kind of want to. I'd invite her to come take a look at it. Be like, you know, here's where we're staying at. Um, we just got it propped up. If you want to come take a look, see if you can glean anything, or you probably know more about it than I do.
Just got it propped up. He ain't
Uh,
talking about the war forged forgeries, honey.
I actually think that's something she would like to do when offered that, and she might even come back with you guys immediately to go see this thing. And of course, when she lays eyes on it, it's laying in y'all's fucking yard. I like to imagine it's like there's like a pile of raked leaves, and it's like sitting up in the leaf pile up against the porch or some shit, because one of you are just macabre as fuck. Um,
On the trip back, I want to say something just to Deimos. I want to say that digging wasn't just for me, buddy. She said those forges put out a lot of power, and I think we got something that eats a lot of power. I don't know if you're feeling like a mad scientist. I don't know if it's a good idea to hook the orrery up to one, but if we find one that's functional, it might be the right tool.
Saying hook the Ori up to the war forgeries?
Yeah,
to the creation
they she
forge that makes
she said the creation forge
Oh
it
no, the
requires an
creation forge.
incredible
Yeah, yeah,
it requires
but
an incredible amount of power. Yeah,
those are also very dangerous. We went to one in the last campaign. I don't know how much it's actively.
Randy doesn't know that. I just want to
Neither does
Deimos
shove the
doesn't.
Deimos.
orrery
Yeah,
inside of
Deimos
one.
doesn't know that.
From what Deimos is aware of, I don't think he would consider going out to the forge as much of an option because then you have to go into the Mournland and it's like this whole thing, right?
Well, the thing
Vera
is that
just alluded there would be some in other countries outside of Seer.
yeah,
But they
that's
should
why I
all be
probed a
shut
little
down.
bit.
And
This should all be
Because
shut down.
if
Yes.
my thought is if there is one that's active, because we've already offered to investigate, we put a foot in the door, like we might be able to get a list of locations to go look to verify somebody's not making any. If one of them's active and we happen to have the orrery with us,
I mean, I'm fair with considering that as part of our
I
put it on
I
our
might
to-do
rip the
list.
universe in half, but I don't know. I was just thinking about it. He said it takes a lot of power to make one. I was like, well, we have something that eats a lot of power. Maybe they're like puzzle pieces. We stick them together and see what happens.
Also wondering, the dragon shard that we're putting on the ship to power the Starbreaker. When we're not trying to pierce the veil, pun not intended, um, and when we're not trying to do that, can we use the shard to power the orrery?
Who
Because I
knows?
feel like when we're just cruising the galaxy, and in our bubble and the Ring of Sybaris, I feel like there's not a reason to have the Starbreaker, you know, plugged in. We've only got one outlet, and either the washer or the dryer has to go in it. We don't need them at the same time if we just time it out right, you know?
Okay. Is there anything else you guys would like to talk to Vera about?
No, let her look at the machine. That's it.
Okay, no, yeah, she does come to look at it, and you guys can see when she looks at it. She looks like both mortified and intensely curious. And she does, she's mumbling under her breath from the time. Well, I like to imagine when she sees it, she covers her mouth, and then you can hear her mumbling behind her hand, casting a multitude of spells as she kind of steps closer to it and walks a little closer to it, and eventually begins to put her hands on it and kind of try to move it and see how it moves, and maybe push certain parts of it apart so she can look into some of the components inside of it. Um, she would tell you at the end of her investigation. I don't believe this was like the Warforged. It doesn't. You can tell when you find a Warforged, it is a corpse. Something has left the body. This doesn't seem to be that way. It was mostly lifeless when you killed it. It's fascinating, really. You guys hear some of the same things other people have told you. She talks about how it seems to be powered in a way she doesn't entirely understand. You guys by now can probably gather she's talking about psionics. She says it's supremely unique. I've never seen whatever it is how to put this. whatever it is seems capable of much longer reach. And you guys can tell she says, whatever it was that was driving these creatures is supremely distant. I can find no traces of its motivations, its its directives. That's unusual. If there was magic nearby that created these things, it would be nearby, and I could discern so. Whatever these are piloted from an unfathomable distance.
If I don't want to say this. If we gave you enough time, do you think you could figure out how this was programmed? Maybe reprogram it?
There are some things I could attempt, but since it seems to be wrought from a power I'm not familiar with, I'm not certain what I could do with it. Everything I attempt to do would be arcane in nature, and this creature doesn't seem to be arcane in nature. I have no guarantees of what could happen.
You wouldn't happen to know anybody who might know a bit more about the pure mechanical side of things versus the arcane side, would you?
That would be me, actually. What do you mean?
Well, guess we're out of options.
Because she, in that vein, she could tell you that they don't seem to be like their mechanical structure is not very similar to the autognomes. They don't seem to have been copied from that blueprint. But she would admit that they are mechanically very similar to Warforged. Same hip joints, same the same builds, the same parts they use to put shoulder joints and hip joints together and things of that nature.
I don't know how to ask her what I'm trying to ask. Because we don't technically know how they're powered either. Like, we're all just sort of guessing in a circle.
Sort of. But keep in mind, Vera also does not know how the Warforged are powered. There are very few people that know where their sentience comes from.
We know the name of one anyway.
Someone who knows, yeah.
And it might be a goose chase to go hunt them down, try to get more information about this.
So
I'd be curious what it would be worth.
I'm not putting it as a high priority. I'm down to sort of explore it later, but
Yeah. You're right. We have more pertinent things we can handle immediately. There's plenty of time to chase somebody down who can give us a little more info on this mechanical husk.
Sorry, my brain broke. I was gonna say you guys technically would also know that this appears to be the organization trying to steal an autognome.
I would ask one more question.
Yeah, they had the same cipher as the other organization. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Based on your, I guess, the knowledge you have of mechanics, is there any chance this thing's getting back up?
I highly doubt it. She points out, she gets real technical for a minute and points out different parts of it. Talks about how whatever powers it, there's not enough conductive material there. It's not all hooked up the right way. That you could dump as much juice as you wanted to into this, and it would be mostly useless.
It's both good and bad news, but I'll take it as good for now. I don't want somebody having something snuck inside my house that might come back to life later. You know what I'm saying?
I would keep it in the dungeon if you have one.
Or ships have a brig.
We definitely have a dungeon.
I think a
It's
lot
got
of ships
chains.
have
It's
a
got
brick.
it's got whips. There's a cage down there.
Oh my.
Some shackles.
It's Zephyr's room. It's just Devils as the dungeon.
Yeah.
Zephyr sleeps in the red room. Okay.
Yeah, that checks out.
Zephyr doesn't sleep. They crab themselves through the night.
Same, Zephyr. Okay, is there anything else you guys would like to talk to Vera about? Doesn't sound
No,
like there
I'm
is.
good.
So you guys will. Oh well, she would take her leave as she left Mantis HQ. Okay. And this gets the ship to her, so she will be very busy for the next couple of days, weeks. And this would, I like to think, probably would be the end of the 21st. So you guys can take a short rest. I don't think you need it, but if you do need it, hit your short rest button. And you guys would sleep through the night of the 21st and get up on the 22nd. We might actually stop things there. Just because it might be a good little break. I'm pretty tired this week. And it might be a good little stopping point because it sounds like y'all are going to go back to Calvin. Was that the plan?
I think we were gonna go handle that last
Zendrick.
quest.
Yeah, handle the Zendrick thing? Okay. Because then we can go right into that